All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have Majid Jami right here. Asuko James is also with us, and we also have BKO, the new ambassador, Lori, joining us via Zoom. All right, so let's move straight to our next conversation. Now, the legacy of the late former president, Muhammadu Buhari, beyond his two-term presidency, is what the Bishop of Sokoto Catholic Diocese, Matthew Hassan Kukah, wants Nigerians to focus on. Bishop Kukah described late Buhari as a good man who served Nigeria in various capacities and should not be judged solely on his years in office as a civilian president. The cleric emphasized the need for national reflection and compassion after Buhari's passing, adding that his service life extended beyond the political challenges often associated with his presidency. All right, BKO, I'll start with you. Bishop Kukah's remarks on former President Buhari, particularly his call for Nigerians to view the late president beyond his 8 years in office. Talk to me. Do you agree with him?
First and foremost, let me say that there's no evidence that Buhari asked Nigerians to forgive him. No evidence. There's no evidence of that. My hunch is that it's just another itinerant liar on social media that put that together. There's no evidence at all. And the people that I know that I've been speaking with, they've also said the same thing to me. Buhari never sent Aisha to beg Nigerians to forgive him. It looks very much like a lie from the pit of hell, just so that people don't have the feeling that that was what happened. As he tried his best, he couldn't have done better than he did. No one can function above his pay grade. As far as Buhari is concerned, he did his best, and he wished that he became president when he was younger. He said that because he would have been in a much better shape to handle the daily, rigorous, and physically exacting task of running our country. Many people do not know that it's not easy to run a country, a complex country like Nigeria. But Buhari came at a time when he was already advanced in age, and yet his achievements are visible for people to see. The only problem is when people do not like you, they will not even see your achievements. I still hear people say today that Tinubu has not achieved anything. Some of them even challenge people to an argument that if you think Tinubu has achieved anything, but it's pointless trying to argue with people who don't know what they are doing. How can you see Nel Fund and say Tinubu has not achieved anything? Even if you want to mention that one, and that's not the only thing he's achieved. So it's the same attitude that people have. Those who are minded to hate Buhari will never admit that he even achieved anything. And it's people like that who are concocting the story that he pleaded with Nigerians, as if they start with Aisha Buhari when Buhari was talking to her. So I just felt I needed to make that point clear. The point that Bishop Hassan Kukah made is a very valid one. It is not even in our culture to demonize the dead, to be ridiculing the dead, as some of our people are doing. And the Bishop Kukah is trying to say, look, this man was not perfect. Let's focus on the things that he did that we can hold on to as a country. Buhari's love for the ordinary people is not what anybody can contest. His love for the common man, the poor people. When he came up with the 2 trillion naira bailout, it was because he couldn't stand people working and not being paid their salaries. And he once said that he was always wondering how some governors would go to sleep, knowing that they were owing salaries for months. He was saying that he had a meeting with traditional rulers, and he said sometimes he wonders how they manage to find a way to sleep, knowing that people's salaries for months have been left unpaid. How do you want those people to survive? Buhari came up with that bailout. And my state, Kogi State, alone got 50 billion, followed by Osun, another state that was heavily indebted to workers. Not only that, he also came up with the idea of school feeding. Yes, the school feeding program has been tried in, I think, one or two of the APC states. But it was Buhari that introduced it at national level because he campaigned on it as a policy of his government. So the school feeding program, look at the Abuja Kaduna rail, 186 kilometer Abuja Kaduna rail that he completed. The petroleum industry bill had been there for more than 10 years. It took Muhammadu Buhari to eventually sign it into law. How about even the not too young to rule bill? How about end power? How about the creation of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs? I said earlier that his commitment to the poor people, no one can brush it aside. And even the creation of that ministry attests to his concern for the ordinary people. The conditional cash transfer, which is now a law, now has legal backing in our country. Because even the World Bank recommends conditional cash transfer in situations where the very poor in our city, in our country, and our cities need help. President Buhari prioritized it, setting aside not less than 25 billion every month for conditional cash doleouts to the needy. How about disability inclusion? Those who are physically challenged. Today, they are grateful, and you see even some of them being employed into federal and state service. Some of them even being made many special advisors and all that. It was Buhari that brought this to the fore. And when we're talking about agriculture, Buhari said, look, we must eat what we kill. And he stopped devoting tons of dollars to the importation of rice because we became the biggest importer of rice. President Buhari said, no, I will no longer set aside 1 naira for the importation of rice because we can grow rice in ample quantity in our country. So there is no way that anyone can sit down and tell us that our president, that our former president didn't achieve anything. So that's the point that Father Kukah is making, that let's celebrate the good things that he did instead of trying to mock him in death. And one of those great things that he did is the focus on agriculture. Where now we have many rice mills, integrated rice mills all over our country. It was not like that before Buhari became president. Now people are gainfully employed working in rice mills.
Okay.
Instead of importing rice, 20-year-old bags of rice that they used to feed their animals with in Thailand and other places. The ones that have been stay so long in the warehouses, we come and eat it here and we think we will be happy eating junk. The president said, no, we must no longer set aside precious dollars to import rice into our country. He did that, and Nigeria became Africa's #1 producer of rice. We overtook Egypt in the process. So the man has achievement that we can celebrate him upon, not simply to be abusing him as some people are doing. And the people mocking Buhari in debt, they don't even know the kind of debt that will be their lot. They don't know how many of them will be recognized in debt, you know.
All right. Majid, let's. Do you agree with the remark by Bishop Matthew Hassan Kukah in this regard?
Yes. As a man of God, both faiths that are very popular in Nigeria, both the Christian and Islamic religions, I mean, they have almost the same posture towards the dead. I mean, you don't speak, even traditional Yoruba culture too, I mean, you don't speak evil, you don't speak bad about the dead. That's what Martin Kukah was trying to say. And also, I had a discussion with BKO last night when something was being scrolled on TVC, and a deputy governor called me and said that thing was wrong. And I think, I thought BKO would speak about it, but I think I also need to talk about it here. Buhari became president in 1994 and not 1993. The coup that... 1984. The coup that brought him to power was on December 31st.
Yes.
But the announcement
was made in 1984
by Babangida at 1 a.m. 1st of January.
Yeah, BKO elaborated it on Monday.
Yes, I mean, because people still talk about it. I mean, for a deputy governor to call that this is not... so I think we need to let Nigerians
I think he actually corrected
that. Yeah, BKO actually
yes.
he corrected his
yes, that's right. Now, BKO told me, and we need to continue to re-echo it so that more people would understand. So back to the topic, you know, the dead should be allowed to have a rite of passage. But then even if we are going to speak about it, they speak about the good things. Look, see, the Greek thing, the rise pyramids that BKO was talking about, is as a result of the ingenuity which Buhari brought into the anchor borrowers scheme, facilitated by the CBN. I mean, where farmers were given farm inputs and a lot of like a backup that when you produce also tons of rice, it will be bought. We call it anchor borrowers.
Yes.
I mean, people are ready to buy what, I mean, it's like insuring your products. So they know that even if you have millions of tons of rice, I mean, you won't have a problem disposing them. And a lot of processing, rice processing mills, with the biggest in the West Africa now, located in Lagos. That's at Imota, Ikorodu. So a lot of things that we can attribute to Buhari. There's completion of the second Niger bridge, which a lot of governments could not even, I mean, it has been in the pipeline, but he was able to open that pipeline and brought what is in it out, and it became the second Niger bridge.
Okay, Asuko, does Bishop Kukah's call reflect, I mean, a broader need to humanize leaders even in the face of their political shortcomings?
Well, first we have to look at, you know, their legacies. You know, if we want to humanize, what did they do? And I think for Buhari, with the things that he did before leaving, they are evident. They are practically evident.
I mean, BKO listed the Disability Act, the Electricity Act,
so many.
Petroleum.
You know, because he was saying something about the second Niger bridge. I remember when people were saying, it's a lie, it's not working. You can, when you go there, you can still drive through that second. If you go to the bridge, some people have even started vandalizing some parts in that second Niger bridge. People were saying that it's not functional. You know, but that is a legacy for him. Is it even the Empire, the anchor borrowers,
or conditional cash transfer?
Conditional cash transfer to people, the vulnerable, you know. I remember even having the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. handling that, and so many people were getting, you know, succor through that ministry.
Even honoring the Abiola family.
Exactly.
You know,
so there are so many things. So,
you know,
so if you look at it,
12. That's 12. You know,
you understand?
there are just a lot.
There are so many things that the man did without, you know, blowing vuvuzela, as they would say.
Yes.
You know, it was just there doing it one after the other. The Abuja, Kaduna, like Ibiko said, some people will tell you, I'm going to Kaduna. How are they going? They are not using, you know, when the Abuja-Kaduna highway was always, you know, terrorized by, you know, by kidnappers. People are using train until they even started, they tried to even cause another problem there. So the man has legacies that when once you sit down and begin to count, you will just notice that this man was just a good person, you know, tilting towards the people.
Absolutely.